What's up, everyone? So we're gonna do something a little different this time around. I decided to go with the trend and make my own little tier list. I'm doing this just because I'm basically bored at the moment. I'm waiting for a couple matches to upload, and I'm also waiting for a couple games to start up so I can start casting. So I'm doing this in between. I wasn't sure what else to do, so I was like, you know what? Let's do this. Let me change colors. Make this a little bit better. Let's go green for there. That's fine. You know what? Let's stick with you down there. Yeah. Gray is at the bottom. Okay. So this is purely a perspective of a caster, commentator, shoutcaster, content creator, whatever you want to call me. Doesn't really matter. You can even call me bad because of my opinions right now. I'm okay with it. And to start off, though, let's go with the Chinese. I'm just going to go in order of whatever is down here. Chinese, honestly, I would probably put them in F. I haven't seen them convincingly do anything. Every time I've casted them, I've watched games, and then just so you guys know too, not every game I cast gets posted. I could cast anywhere between 5 to 10 games a day, at minimum 5 games a day. At max, I think the max I've casted was about 14, but I still only uploaded like 5 or 6 of those. Just because I cast it doesn't mean I'm gonna upload it if I don't feel it's good. And trust me, there's been a lot of Chinese games that I've casted where they won or lost that just didn't seem good, so I didn't upload them. I really did. I couldn't get myself to. I don't know what it is about them. You can't buff their base core, because if you do that, that's just going to make the Zushi Legacy better, and the Zushi Legacy, we'll talk about them later on. But I think the way that you have to buff the Chinese is strictly through their own unique units, and also give them, and through their own unique dynasties. Because if you do anything other than that, you're going to make the Zushi Legacy a lot stronger, and you can't really have that. Moving on to Abbasid, I would actually put them in C. I don't think they're the best. I don't think they're the worst. I think they're really in the middle of the group. There's not really much else to say about them. There's certain things that they do better than their counterpart, than the Abbasids, but the Abbasids still do quite a few things better than them. English, the English, I'm gonna put them in C as well. Yeah, I'm gonna just put them in C. Same reasoning for the Abbasid. They're not good, they're not bad, they're very middle of the road. And of course, in certain leagues or certain divisions, the English just seem a hell of a lot stronger than the other civilizations. But they're fine. They're okay. For the French, where will I put the French? Where will I put the French? I'll put them in D. I don't think they're garbage. I don't think they're trash. I do think they're okay, so F is going to be way below average, obviously, right? They're below average. And I think a lot of that has to deal with the same issue that the Chinese have, where their variant is just better. Why are you going to pick the French when Jeanne d'Arc is just that much more advanced, I guess? Like, Jeanne d'Arc herself is a beast of a unit. Consecration is amazing. Yeah, you have a few more opportunities, I guess, for going for a 2 or 3 TC play with the French than you do with Jeanne d'Arc, but ultimately, does that make that big of a difference? Not really. having that early aggression and the huge damage potential of Jeanne d'Arc, if both players are trying to stick to a feudal style play, Jeanne d'Arc is always going to be better than the French. If you go for a long feudal against the French, you'll eventually take them. Whether it's the Abbasid, the Russ, like anybody really, if you stay in a long feudal against them, you're going to eventually overtake them. Unless they're doing long feudal off of like a 2 or 3 TC play, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But still. HRE? Okay. You know what? I'm not going to say it. I don't want to throw shade at anybody. I'll put them in B tier. Do I feel comfortable putting them in? No, I don't. I really don't feel comfortable. I'll put them in high C tier. Yeah, I'll put them in high C tier. It's the same issue as the Abbasid and the English, of course. They're not the best. They're not the worst. They're very middle of the ground. They do need a couple buffs here and there, but like that's pretty much it. There's nothing else to say. Mongols, A tier, easily A tier. There's nothing bad about them. They have very few weaknesses. They're extremely strong. They just are. Russ, I'm gonna put them in A as well. Yeah, I think they'll be a good A tier. I may go back and change a couple things depending on what I think about as I'm saying this, but as of right now, I think I'm gonna stick with Russ in yeah, I think I'm stick with Russ in technically low A tier since there's only 2 units there. Yeah, I feel comfortable with that. Delhi? Ooh, the Delhi Sultanate. The Delhi Sultanate. I feel like they'd be in A. I don't know exactly where in A though. Yeah, let's just put them in mid A tier. I don't think they're S. I really don't think they're S tier. I think they punish a lot of civilizations for the way that they're playing right now. But I don't think they're S tier. You know what? Yeah, let's just leave. Yeah, let's just leave them right there. Malians, I think Malians are B. I really do. I think they'll be high B tier. I don't think anything else is going to be better than them in B tier. But Malians are strong. They still have a really nice castle age to them. Their feudal is a little wonky on occasions, depending on what civilizations they're going against. They could get easily punished. They can't really return fire too much, depending on what they go against. And something that I see a lot, or something I don't see a lot in pro levels, in pro games, or even in High Conqueror, I'm not going to say necessarily pro games, is the lack of poison tipped arrows. And if you guys have watched my Malian games, you know how I feel about that. It makes no sense whatsoever to me why these people are going into castle at 10 minutes 9-10 minutes and then they don't get poison tipped arrows until the 16-18 minute mark. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Poison tipped arrows are just so good. They're absolutely amazing in this current meta. I just don't get it. Ottomans, S tier, easily. They're easily S tier. They have very few weaknesses. I think the only thing that they really get wrecked by is English still. And even then, yeah, it's not like it's completely devastating, because you could play a nice turtle passive game against the English and still come out ahead as long as you're able to get into castle, get those free mangoes out, and defend accordingly. Easily A tier. Aobids. Aobids. Low A. Yeah, low A tier. There's not much to say about the Aobids. They are better than their Abbasid original by a long shot. Yeah, low A. Thankfully for that nerf that they got where they can't get villagers out of the casino anymore, that really put them in place. Jeanne d'Arc, S tier. Easily S tier. She's just too strong. She completely changes the dynamic of the entirety of the game. That right there, regardless of how good she is, the simple fact that she changes the dynamic of the game is more than sufficient to be an S tier. Because it's no longer my army versus your army. It's no longer rock, paper, scissors of unit types. It's my army versus your army plus a Dota 2 champion that could easily kill, not necessarily kill my entire spear line, but it's gonna, at level 2 she does 20 damage in a 1.25 tile radius. Level 3 it's 35 damage in a 1.25 tile radius, and then it's 45 damage in a 1.25 tile radius. Like, she's just gonna cleave through it, and then the archers just clean it up. The archers will clean up the rest of the damage. So, in honesty, S tier. Actually, I'd put her in high S tier. Yeah, because she just changes the dynamic of the game. Level 2, 3 ranged armor, 3 melee armor. Level 3, 5 ranged, 5 melee armor with 50% damage reduction. Level 4, 7 range, 7 melee armor, 66% damage reduction on ranged attacks. Yeah, she's so good. Absolutely insane. Byzantine. I'm gonna put Byzantine in the low B tier. The reason I'm doing this is because I think a lot of people are starting to get the hang of them in the higher levels. I try to cast as many Byzantine games as I can. Whether they get posted or not, I'm constantly watching Byzantine games because I feel they're the most dynamic of all the civilizations, where it's very crucial to know their inner workings, but at the same time they're so versatile. They're strong. I think they're strong. They still need a couple buffs here and there, but I'm gonna put them in low B tier right now. I think they have good potential though. The Japanese. Oh, okay. The Japanese. I don't know if I should put them in. No, they're gonna go low D. Low D. They only have one real opener now, and that's Fast Castle, Mounted Samurai. Spam out 3 of those, get the Uma Bannerman, and then essentially go all in with Mounted Samurai. That's pretty much it. Their other builds have been shot very significantly due to the Kura Storehouse nerf, due to the Floating Gate nerf, the wow, what's the name of their Uzutsu nerf. Like, they need something. They really do. They got hit very hard on the December 6th patch. They need something back. If they don't, I really don't see them going anywhere higher than like low D. Yeah, that's all. Order of the Dragon, high F. Yeah, high F. They're just bad. I really do think that they're just bad as well. You know what? They are. They just are. Depending. You know what? Let's go low D. Yeah, let's just go low D. They need something. I don't know what it is, but they need something. Maybe the Aachen Chapel, instead of being 10%, move it up to like 15%. Let the mine work. I don't know. I don't know what to do with the mine work. It seems like it's a nice spot for Order of the Dragon. It's a terrible position for the HRE, but I think it's in a nice spot for the Order of the Dragon. Burgrave is good. Regnitz is good for both. Maybe give Regnitz, it spawns a prelate on completion for Order of the Dragon. maybe. I don't think it'd be that significant to where it's completely game changing, but it might help them. Palace of Swabia, leave it the same. Ausbach, maybe that could be a little different for the Order of the Dragon as well. Give them a little bit more versatility between the two. Give them an option. I don't know. Not really sure what to do with the Order. But I think they're like low D. They still need quite a bit of help. Zushi Legacy, S tier. They're just way too good. They really are. They have massive versatility, massive flexibility. They're able to switch on and off between eco, military. I've seen them so many times in high level get themselves in a winning position by doing like nothing for 5 minutes straight. They build their walls. They have a couple units out for free in order to defend. They go into 2-3 TC, and then they do a massive granary transition. Next thing you know, they do that while in Song Dynasty, while aging up into a castle, and then dropping like 6 barracks in the back, swarming with palace guards into Imperial, and then just ending the game. And then those are the type of games that I also don't post up because there's no point. There was no back and forth, there's no struggle, there's no excitement to it. The game just ends. And I've seen them do that. Like they'll roll over the Chinese for the most part. A lot of the lower tier ones right here, I've seen them just completely roll over. Something needs to be done. Song Dynasty needs to be changed. It needs to be nerfed from 40% to like 20% wood reduction. Yeah, 20% sounds about fine. And just that's it. Just do that for now. I'm not asking for massive nerfs on them or anything like that. I think Song Dynasty does need to change from 40 to 20%. And that's it. Like their fast castle actually isn't that big of a deal. Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. But yeah, this is my list. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If I'm totally off on something, if you guys slightly agree, heavily agree, let me know and we'll go ahead, talk about it. If you guys think that I'm just completely off on the entire thing, let me know too. But this is what I think. I actually really haven't watched anybody else's tier lists. I constantly get them thrown up. But I'm waiting for a couple games to start up. So I decided to make this video. And like I said, if you guys think it's good, cool. If not, that's totally fine too. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for some more games. Have a good one and take care.